Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast, Wired for Logic AI. And I have my two guests here today, Lari and Vaz, and they're going to give us a little bit of information about what they do and introduce themselves and how they use AI in their day-to-day business and how it's kind of improved their ability to serve clients and improve their overall workflow. So I'll let you guys introduce yourself and then you can start sharing a little bit about what you guys do and how you leverage AI in your day-to-day business.
Hi, everyone. I'm Larissa. I'm living here in Brazil. I'm a lawyer, and also I have a marketing agency. And it's funny to see how AI is changing everything, especially the operational part, because we can have more effort in terms of operational side, but we also can connect with the materials we produce for the clients because we work with branding as well. We have a lot of content that before the AI, we needed a study of each person to actually understand that. But now with the AI, we can just put all the documents inside and have train the AI to represent this client using all the inputs that we are giving to them. It's changes the way we work and also the way that we can organize things and do the research. So I was telling you that I have a law firm and a marketing agency. In the law firm, it's kind of hard to implement the AI because the lawyer think I have the ego thing that
Yep.
thinks I needed to do by myself. But I think it's a shame because we can do a lot of good research and try to give a best answer to the client. But in the terms of the marketing agency, because of the content and I think the way that the marketing uses everything about the AI brings, it's easier to implement and it's changing a lot the way that we can produce things and also the volume of things that we can produce and
Yeah, it brings a certain level of efficiency to the entire process.
yeah.
I was mentioning we were having to generate some documents about company history and a few other items for a lender, and it's not something I have readily available. I know the company history because I founded the company, but taking the time to actually write it all out in a cohesive, flowing way would probably take me an hour or two. But I was able to, since ChatGPT's kind of trained on our business and knows where we started, what we've done, how we've grown, all those kinds of things, I was able to just ask it, hey, can you create me a one pager on the history of our company? And in like a minute, it spits it out. It's already formatted. And I was just able to pop it into our Word template with our letterhead and looked great. So that's incredible. And I see a lot of potential growth in both of those fields that you're talking about, both in marketing and for attorneys, where they can leverage AI to really double and triple their efforts. You were talking about on the marketing side of things, how you're able to really key in the offer to the client. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tend to bring the AI thing to the practical world. I think it's great, it's beautiful, etc. But I don't like to think of the future. I like to think in today. And there are very simple things that you can do in my business that give me instant money using AI and AI just for the right things. One of the things sales related. I sell courses, I sell trainings, I sell programs online and in live events, and the AI is helping me to. I'm scraping. Yeah, I'm scraping via old methods like I scrape comments like from YouTube Live, from Chat Downloader, for an example. I scrape audio and video of my live events with cameras and microphones. Things are really old, and I just use AI to process this for me. Like in live events, I use the Python script chat downloader. I download the chat, and AI says me, "Look, there's this objection when you say this thing," and I'm really transcribing everything with Whisper, everything locally, not even in OpenAI and these things. I like to run things local. I know it's less powerful, but I just like hardware. It's just my thing. So I script these things. I script the transcription from my live in a web event. I script the comments. I cross the times. Look, when I'm talking about this subject, people are saying these and these things, so they are not lying. So they are not liking this, or they are thinking this is too complex. It's confusing the guy. So let's stop talking about this now and let's talk about other thing that I know previously that works. So this can increase my conversion rates up in a way anything could do for me. And the really thing I do in AI is just compile these things I scraped, the transcriptions and etc. And look, when I talk this, people say this, what should I talk now in the real time? So I call the guy on the headphone and stop this and say this. On the live events, it's a bit more complex. In the hub that we use to do live events, we have microphones everywhere, cameras everywhere, because people need to ask the guy on the stage. So we are constantly monitoring these conversations, not violating the privacy of anyone. We are not interested to know the secrets of people there, but we are
Right.
reading, transcribing and sending everything, this huge amount, like 100, 200 people talking.
Right.
It's not perfect, but via Whisper, we are transcribing, GRizing it with piano to separate some speakers. And it's not perfect, but for this case, I use OpenAI. I have a token of OpenAI and I send it real time to OpenAI. They give me the feeling, the mood of the audience. We take pictures with cameras of everyone in some moment. So we send this to Deepface and we analyze the emotions, the probable emotions. We are planning now to turn the smart rings that people use to measure heart, etc.
Yep.
We are planning now to do some gamification, and so the ticket to the venue will be a ring. So you
Okay.
just go on, put the ring on the thing, the door is open, and wow, this is my ring. But this ring is measuring if you are excited or not about what you're hearing. So it's another point of information, and it's not violating your privacy in any means, because when you record audio and video, you need to ask permission of people.
Right.
And it's a thing we already done because we record the live events. We take a study of cases of people in the event, so everyone in the event needs to sign a waiver, something like this. You are being recorded, and everything will be used in our promotional campaigns. So the use of AI on this is really minimal. Most of part is scraping, but is some things that you cannot do without AI, and you don't need to AI evolve to the future, brilliant future. This thing is, I think, with GPT-2 you could do the exact same thing. I don't know, the margins, the efficiency is getting better, but it's a solution that doesn't rely on the newest and best technology. You can just have a good computer with some GPUs and run this locally, and you don't have privacy issues, like you don't need to expose your clients in the web, etc. So I like to do simple things that are just possible because of AI. In the team, in my company, every call is recorded, theorized, and transcribed. I don't need, it's a small company, like 50 people, like it's half of 100. My English is not good. 50
Yeah, no,
people.
you're good.
And small companies struggle a lot with culture, with appointments, like they forget to write things down and etc. So when I watch diarize, because I know I have the sample of the voice of everyone, so my system knows that is Lari talking, that is me talking. I input everything this to my database, and the AI helps me to grow my business. Like, oh, look, these two people are having for 10 weeks, these two people are having the same problem. So you need to fix the process. The things that is not working. There is been some arguing about about these and these things. So the database also have access to the process. So it can suggest updates from the actual process based on a meeting of our day-to-day work. And this is not a heavy use of AI. It's just putting the right information on it and look, these are my process, these are my meetings. What is wrong here? You know? So
Right. Making
I
little
think,
tweaks as you're discovering the issues, for sure.
yeah,
You were talking about recording the sessions live at these events. Do you provide feedback to the speaker? Like as they're
yeah,
talking, maybe they're droning on about something and they're starting to lose the crowd.
yeah,
Are you able to, like, through a little earpiece or something, say, hey, Bill, you need to get back on track and you need to focus on the
yeah.
benefits of X, Y, or Z because you're losing the audience?
Yeah, they have I have some clients, some prefer the headphones, some prefer other ways. I used to think that I am like the maestro. I sit down up and look, go on, more energy. I start to make gestures, and they have like a teleprompter on the floor that I
Hmm.
can send messages because the headphones it's a little bit invasive. Like the guys on the floor on the stage, and you speak something on the headphone, they just break the flow, and it's somewhat
Yeah, I guess that's
strange
true.
when you send this via teleprompter or in the pauses, like there's a 30 minute and there's a pause for other guy go go up on the stage. We talk, we sit on the backstage and talk about things. And the online events is the same thing. The guy is reading a teleprompter, and we are doing this mood analysis online based on comments and engagement, likes, and etc., and guiding the thing in real time. Before every guy, even the better ones, we are not gods. We're just thinking strategies that we think that will work. But when you go to, to the to the day with the people in the audience listening, everything can work, and the best planners in the world will put against the wall in check, because the market in the attention span of people today is very, very short. It's important to project this from, I don't know, 1 2 months earlier. You need to, the best feedback you have is the feedback you are having now. This is the way
Right.
I think.
I wonder if you're talking about like attention span and things like that of people. I wonder how much of that is due to our phones and devices. And you
Yeah, for
notice
sure.
how
For sure.
that things that are very popular are, something like short form content, like reels on YouTube and Instagram and of course TikTok is extremely popular. But it's almost like that it's worsening the problem to where, sometimes you can't even carry on a conversation with somebody for 5 minutes because they're a minute into the conversation, they're distracted. They want to go, jump on their phone or do something else because they're no longer engaged. It's very interesting. But I like that real-time feedback piece and recording the content and kind of allowing. We have a platform that we use on the sales side of things that will join the call like a note taker, like when you do like a Zoom or Teams or whatever. And it's not only taking notes and transcribing like Fathom or one of those other, Otter AI, I think is another one, like a note taker. So it's capturing and transcribing everything, but it's also providing real-time feedback. So as you're doing like a
Yeah.
sales pitch to the client, it's saying, hey, don't forget to mention on the last call you had with them, they talked about pain point XYZ. Don't forget to mention how you have a solution for that, because that's going to help drive home the offer to them and get them on the hook to make the purchase. So it's really helpful to have all those things, kind of like having a real time assistant sitting next to you, reminding you about what you need to do to really engage with that client and show them that you can bring value to the table.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
In what's your opinion about this note taker, these things that are already built? I'm here creating a custom solution because when I started this thing, these apps and these platforms was not really good for me. Part of this is because we are Brazilians, we speak Portuguese, and they are some years, months ago, most of the platforms was kind of broken in our language. They doesn't transcribe things accurately. But I just stopped using these things. But what is your point about this? They are getting good in transcribing and giving feedbacks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I don't know how accurate it is in different languages. Like that's interesting that you bring up the point about how it's not great at transcribing Portuguese, which is interesting.
I don't know if this is the reality now. I'm just saying that my experience was 1-2 years ago. I don't know, something like that. But I don't know now. I never went back to that again because my system works for me. But I know it's not a simple thing. Most of people can do in a click and do this thing.
Yeah, I think they're always making improvements. As on the AI side of things with our Logic Wire AI company, I think I was mentioning it before we started the call about 3 different companies that we run. The AI company, we're not, because you can reach out to clients across the world. We're not focused on just here in the US. We can market or provide solutions to somebody anywhere in the world. And so something like that's important. I haven't used the transcription function yet on with a client that doesn't speak English. So that'll be interesting to see if it's affected, like you said. I know they're always improving. I know Google, a couple years back, they used to have Google Translate, and now it's able to like live translate. So if I went to a foreign country, Brazil, Germany, I mean, it's funny, everyone speaks some bit of English. Most Americans only speak English. So it's kind of like, we don't need to learn your language. You need to learn English. It's like, I think it's good when you learn other languages. I know a little bit of Spanish, not a lot. And I know there's some similarities between Portuguese and Spanish, but I took a couple years of it in high school. My grandmother originally came over from Mexico. She was, my mom was the first generation born here in the U.S. But unfortunately, my mom was the youngest. And so my grandmother would speak English and Spanish to my 2 uncles, but only English to my mom because she was afraid, like, oh, she's here in the US. She really needs to learn English. You see so much benefit when you're able to speak more than one language because you can interface with more people. It's like, oh, I only understand English. The other person I'm talking to has to understand English. Otherwise, we can't communicate. We have to use some kind of intermediary to translate. I would have loved if my mom would have gotten the best of both worlds, English and Spanish, and she could have kind of carried that through to when I was growing up. But the best I had was high school Spanish, and that was about it. A couple of years of that, so that's not all that great.
But it's not too similar. People think, I'm not a great English speaker, but I don't know anything about Spanish. Even my Portuguese, I don't know how to speak Spanish at all. People think they are very, very,
Similar.
very similar, but for me, I don't think it's too similar. I think it's.
We were in Buenos Aires like 1 month ago, and it was pretty funny because people thinks because we are Brazilian, so we might speak Spanish. And I twist things a little bit. I try to speak using like all the words that I know, and usually it happen. And it's funny because the other person understand, and we can connect and do a conversation. But he can't. So it's funny because people say in Spanish and are like, what? I don't understand speaking
Yeah.
English because
Yeah.
we are
Yeah, I'm really good at listening in English, but speaking it's average.
we consume a lot of English content here in Brazil, especially in series and movies, and the culture of Brazil. It's very based on America. So
And when we were young, if you want to study anything, you should study in English. There was no knowledge in my ears. Like I was a musician, then a filmmaker, and everything in the industry is just English, English, English. Now we have some good knowledge in Portuguese, but 10, 20 years ago, there was nothing. You need to know how to read English to study something,
and
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 there was no instant translator. That was really
Yeah.
impossible to.
Yeah, I
My
think in terms of AI, most of the apps and the content, especially in the beginning, were in English, and most of the tech people were using. And now I think the second group of people is the marketing people, because they are using a lot to produce content, to do
Mhm.
advertisement, and to produce content. So it's something that we see, and everybody is speaking a lot about it, but I don't know in the reality if, like, the, as we call, like, someone who works in operationals or can do like service, because we have a lot of simple people in Brazil as well. And I think there is a gap,
Yeah,
a huge gap.
it's very different the behavior of Brazilians, you know, because in like in my, two niches that I'm fond of that I work is agriculture and marketing, and I think, in my opinion, Brazilians are best workers than Americans or Europeans, etc., because they are really used to this dynamic thing to reinvent themselves, you know. Every time we had a company on Finland, to
Okay.
marketing company on Finland. We have this company, and we our clients are the Nordic countries. So the price that we can execute, and the timing, we can execute everything that every agency on the nearby countries do for, I don't know, one third of the price and 10% of the time. It's not just the price, because our currency, etc. People here are used to work a lot into evolving ways to be productive, like in other countries. I don't know, it's because of the wages and everything. People are just too slow. If you bring an European to work in a marketing agency in Brazil, they quit
They
in,
will go
in
themselves.
1 week, because here this is
The
the way
culture.
we do things, the culture. So it's very interesting, the behavior. The Europeans and the Americans, I think they are more deep, more have more study and etc. But the empirical knowledge, sometimes they surpass the technical knowledge. So they are not very schooled people, but the empirical knowledge is way above the rest of the world, because they test too much. It's like the Indian guys on the TI thing, you know, they are the guys on the mathematics and everything. It's not an evolved country like America and Europe and everything, but they are great on that thing. And Brazilians are great on doing marketing and sales and funnels and this kind of things.
Because we need to make it happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we
Yeah.
don't eat.
You have a driving force behind you. It's like, let's be productive, let's make money, let's push this agenda forward. I'd like
Yeah.
to hear a little bit more about the marketing and how you use in the AI side of things, and then maybe you can get a little bit into the lawyers as well. We've
Uh,
been talking a lot about the recording and stuff like that prior, but
Yeah, yeah. As I see, like, it's not the most of them, but let's say the people who is very into the technology, and it's a few of them, I think, because I have contact with a lot of law office and law firms, and I work with different kind of lawyers, because in the law situation we used to have partners, and we do works together, we do some jobs together, and we talk a lot about AI. And I see, like, the most of the lawyers that I know, they don't use it the best way they can. Like, they just know how to open a chat GPT and maybe do a research, a basic research or something they wanted to know, like if it was a Google.
mhm.
But I myself, I use for everything, like to correct things that I do, to check the laws, and to see the terms of a contract, to see if the best option for the client. So I think we have a lot of tools to have our work in another statement. And some lawyers that I know record their session with the clients, so in the sessions they already have all the transcription. After that, the AI already becomes everything in a format of a contract. So it's like something that you might spend the whole day to organize something that it's totally operational, like what's going to be the clause one and what comes first, and then but it's something manual that you need to put the information over there. The machine already does for you, and then we just need to have the effort and the knowledge to interpret that thing and to see if it's everything okay and if you needed to change something. But when you do the same work of the same kind of contracts, it's going to be easier.
Yep.
So she implement that, and now she can do a lot of much other things that she does before. And she needed like a great team and a lot of people working for her. And now by herself, she can do like 10 contracts in a week, something that it will be impossible before. So we had this conversation like the 2 days before, because we are talking about how difficult it is to have a team. And of course, this produces another problem, another issue that people are losing their jobs. But I think a good professional can be insert of the AI context operating the machine. I think the new professional is someone that is good in manager this machine and to understand it and to give the best of it. I think most of the lawyers now is using in a way just to see something and to have a doubt and something they want to know. But you can use for someone that is going to review your job and to check if it's something that you are telling is correct or not. And you also can do a research about all the tribunals, all the law that exists. So how can you do this like by yourself? You must go into each website, each tribunal to see if they are talking about this case you have. And one click, I can see about my case and how the tribunals are understanding that thing, like in all the tribunals, because we have a law there. It's closed for you guys that you can use the jurisprudence. I don't know how to say this in English, but we can use we can see if they have positive answers in the questions that I have, and I can use it in my own calls. So I say the tribunal decided in this way as well, the way that I'm looking for. So it's huge. I use it already in this way, and I know that I'm not using the whole way that it's possible. I'm looking for how can we implement these things. But I think there's a long, especially in the law public, because we have the ego thing about produced by myself. There's something that it's work like this in the
Right. They're resistant to using the new tool. It's kind of like if you have a contractor that goes around building fences and they just
Mhm.
invented the nail gun, and you have a guy that's like, well, I build fences and I use a hammer. I don't use a nail gun. It's like, okay, so it takes you 3 times as long to build a fence. I want the guy who's going to come in and do the best job for the best price and as quickly as possible and still do a good job. Not the guy that refuses to use the new tools that are at their disposal. So yeah, I think to your point, being able to, even if they create the document, having it go back and double check them and make sure they
Yeah.
didn't miss anything. It's like a second set of eyes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we are talking about. We had this conversation, me, Vaz, and I, the other week, that the new professionals, this happened already with the social media, because most of the doctors and the lawyers didn't want to use before. Like, I don't need it to do a content to sell my work. Most of them, that is not even good doctors or lawyers,
Yeah.
had their work, and now they are earning a lot of money because they have good pages and good content, and that's how it works. And I think this is happening again with the AI. And the difference is, as I see, the new professional, it's going to be someone that has the authority, because you're not worried about who put the document, the
Yeah.
information inside the document. You are
Because
worried about
the attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So if you are not an authority, you're out of the market. And if AI and marketing will bring you this authority, this level of performance, this is the way to go. There is no other way.
Yeah.
But the main thing is being relevant. How can I be relevant? Marketing and efficiency. And efficiency today you can't compete with other company that use AI if you don't use it. It's mandatory. People doesn't have to argue about this. You just use, man.
Yep.
It will be good for you because your enemy is using, and he will bury you in your market if you don't use
Yep.
it.
If you don't
And
embrace, yeah, if you don't embrace the new trends and new tools that are available to you, for
and
sure.
the person who is behind the technology, it is that what counts. Because I did a example. I was with my friend when we were searching things by I was by her side and she was doing a research and I was doing something very similar. We wanted to discover a name or something for the marketing that our company, and the answers that she had was totally different than mine. I was like,
Hmm.
"Come on, you're doing almost the same questions, but the machine of hers is based on her researchers and have her, I don't know how to explain that, but mine is different because he had my own data. And I think this is
Right.
the magical of everything, because it starts to think by like yourself. and
Yes.
and doing like a weird thing. I was talking with my friend and we started to do some questions about actually teaching the AI to respond as me if I die and I let my child. If my child wants to talk with me, like, and do
Yes.
some pictures, and for some reason I died, my machine can answer to her. It's something weird, I know, but I started to do that.
No, it's interesting because there's I don't know if you guys have ever seen or heard of Ghost in the Shell. It's an anime from back in, like, I think early 2000s. But the whole idea was in some future, 2130 or something like that, you can transfer your consciousness as a program basically into an android, and it's still you, but it's in the CPU, the brain, or whatever of this android. And so I call it Ghost in the Shell, but that's kind of what you're talking about is keeping you, how you think, how you talk, your memories, the way you interact with people. It's unique to all of us. Our mannerisms, I mean, everything. It's not something that the AI can do just out of the box. You have to train it. And that's part of what's
But
interesting about how,
it will, it will. I don't think a human consciousness have less parameters than GPT-5. All the emotions and nuances and everything. I don't think a human being have more than 10 billion parameters of consciousness. I don't think so. It's just a matter of time, and if the world will embrace it.
yeah, it's
It's
interesting.
really a double-edged. People start to in the early ages. People think Google was God. If I ask Google and he give me an answer, that's the right answer. Then people started to think Wikipedia was God. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's on Wikipedia, it's true, and that is you're wrong. Look, Wikipedia. And now
Yeah.
the double-edged sword is like my GPT is telling me that I am right. So look at this, look at my GPT. So
Yeah.
I'm right. So I think this is the great trap on the thing. If your AI assistant starts to thinking like you, they will have nothing to sum and provide for you because there's an army of dumb people thinking they are super smart because they personal assistant agrees of every bullshit they
Yeah.
talk. And I think this is the thing, the problem now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the owner, the founder of ChatGPT said that they need to do some adjustments
Yeah,
because after
GPT-5 is
yesterday,
it's
the
less
GPT said,
forgiving
"Wow, this is
than 4.
incredible. What do you think about that?" And I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, this is not nice."
You were mentioning Google and ChatGPT. It was interesting in playing into the whole marketing piece. One of the trends that started recently, and I don't know how soon it's been able to do this because I don't spend a lot of time asking it for recommendations. I spend more time having it help me with documents and doing research. And I had it generate a quiz for some of my techs the other day to kind of quiz them on some technical
Mhm.
knowledge about some of the equipment we use, kind of see where they had knowledge and where they didn't, where there were gaps and where we could improve and things like that. But I was giving an example earlier about um, people starting to research for recommendation or consumer recommendations or business recommendations. Hey, give me a local marketing company that can help me market my small to medium sized business. I own a plumbing company. Can you give me 3 recommendations in the local area that can help me with digital marketing, and why you would recommend these 3? And then it could spit out a list of like, hey, here's 3 marketing companies that are local to you, and these are their ratings, and this is why I recommended these 3, and this is their price range. And it's able to go out and grab all of that and compile all that in a matter of minutes. You need the same thing for home services. Think about like a deck or a pool or a pergola or something. You're a homeowner, you want to get those things built. Who has the time to go out now onto Google and say, local contracting companies? Okay, here's 15 of them. Okay, now I got to go
Mm.
through the reviews on every single one, and I got to call them and all this other nonsense, get them to come out and give me quotes. No, I want Chat GPT to give me a list of like the top 3, why it picked those top 3, and I'll get quotes from those top 3. And that's kind of the
Yeah,
trend that's going. So I don't know how Google they're gonna have to change their business model or something, because if it's a lot of it's search right now and ad revenue, I don't know how that's gonna work with people asking specific questions like local recommendations and whatnot.
yeah. People are already carving a term like it's AEO, that is answer engine optimization. That is the new SEO. But my what troubles me it is like from politics and economics and things out of our bubble of tech and marketing, etc. How it can be a weapon for monopolizing things, because if there's a company that goes on it and do the right things and press the right buttons and pay the right amount of money to this new engine optimization, they are the only possible answers for this. If you need top 3, the top 3 will not be dynamic. So it means that many companies of that thing will have too many requests and become a monopoly, and the small the companies will die. This is a real problem, because I think AI it's a great way to empower the entrepreneurship of people, because at the same time some people will lose their jobs. They will have the best advisor they ever had to build her new job, her new career. Okay, so then he built his or her new career, so he can't get clients because attention is getting way, way, way expensive. Attention is not a thing that small people can afford today in the world, because
Right.
social media, lead prices, and everything. And if attention it's impossible to small people, the new organic content, it will be the AI engine optimization. Like the SEO was the organic thing on the past. So the small people can't compete even on paid advertising or organic if this thing will not be really, really think through. I think this is the thing that scares me, not for me, but for all the people. There's many, many, many things that advances and downsides and how people will address it. But on this point, it really matters me. What kind of monopoly this could create?
That's
Yeah,
a good
no,
point.
that is a legit concern. How do you see, with having a resource like that, it could help people retrain themselves to do different jobs, but how do you see it affecting lower level employees? I know like McDonald's, there's a big push at some of their locations to get AI automation in there and get robots, taking orders and doing other things. I know there's some kind of system that they have now that they offer their franchisees, like, a $2 million purchase for the hardware and implementation, but they make that up in like 18 months on the savings of not having the hourly employees. So now
Mm.
those people have to go find a job somewhere else.
Yeah. The thing I think for me, I don't think everything thinks like me, but I think today is a really dumb idea if you don't have a massive company to automate things. I think AI is the perfect thing to make things more productive, to make the people that work for you, they can produce X more. They
Yes.
result X more, and we don't need to slave them. They can work less and produce 10x more because of AI. So if now I have a guy that serves me, so now he can serve like X and work less than he works and have more quality of life and earn more because he's producing more. Why on earth I need to fire this guy? I don't think I need to. I think it's a concept for most of the companies.
Yeah, I like the doing more with less idea. I think is great. And on the SD Tech side of things, which is our MSP company, the whole goal is to use AI for client acquisition to be able to then hire more employees to then service those clients, and of course implement more AI on the servicing side as well. The platform we currently use, our RMM, has pretty heavy AI automation in it. And there's a lot of things that happen automatically in troubleshooting and things like that. So AI has been really good for us across the board. Obviously we're the tech industry, so that's usually the place that gets new tech first. But it's interesting how it's trickled down into other industries and how it's helped them grow and, like you said, do more with less. And I think doing more with less.
And doing things that was really impossible to do for a small company, like 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 the things Larry is doing on the law side. You need 10 guys scraping all the websites of the government 24/7. Now you just click a button. This is incredible. This is really and it, but I don't need actually to fire the guys. If now I'm more productive, I need to invest in marketing. I need to invest in grabbing attention to to use the more efficiency I have at home because if you have more efficiency from one day to another, what you need to do? More clients. You need attention. You need marketing. I think these things are very well integrated.
Yep. No, exactly. When they were demoing the AI client acquisition piece to us the other day, they were showing how originally when the company that wrote the software, when they started, they were talking about all the things that had to be done manually. And as they've implemented this whole system, it can now do everything end to end, including getting everything set up with automated emails going out and drip campaigns and all that kind of stuff. It's incredible. So now, again, you can do with fewer people, you can get more done, and each one of those people can produce exponentially more. I think if SMBs, if small and medium sized businesses use it correctly, it gives them a leg up against larger companies that have more workforce. So somebody that's like a 100-person company that's producing, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 million a year. You have a small 15-person company, you could maybe onboard more clientele and you could get your revenue up closer to that with less people. So your per capita production from the employees is much more, and they have to do less work, and in turn better quality of life.
I, I think this is the reality in the short term because smaller companies are quick to implement and revolutionize things. Bigger companies are slower, but when the big companies enters the game, they will lead. There's a bubble. The small companies grow with this technology. The older companies looks like they are old, they're dying, but they're not. In 3, 4, 5 years, the big companies come again and rule everything again. This is the digital marketing. It's what like this. When I start to make direct response marketing, no one does this. The great companies like Mercedes, the banks in Brazil, the American banks that is here in Brazil, no one was doing direct marketing and selling educational in the form of a medium of the funnel to bring clients. So that my cost of awareness of attention was ridiculous. It's like pennies. Now everyone is in the game. The small guy, once again, the small guy need to act quicker than others and become big. In the meantime, the big techs are preparing to do this because if you are slow to implement the new tech, there's no chance for you. This is my point.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, Larissa, how are you guys using AI for like generating actual marketing content on the marketing side of things?
We have the on we call mini someone, mini client. So each client had his own mini someone who is going to be trained with all the content we already produced to him. So it's
Okay.
good because we work with branding, and in the beginning of the process, we do like a big research and an interview with the owner of the marketing director. So all this content before was based and needed to someone to understand it, and something that is most of the time is subjective. So now we can use all this content that it's already done, that already made part of our process, and we train the machine to produce the content using the client's tone of voice, the client's archetype. So it's good because more that you use, more the AI get trained, and the answer we have, it's better. So we do the content planners to the clients. They receive one time per month, and that we have all the videos, the pictures, the content that is going to be posted on their social media, and all the content that we produce. Of course, the client has their own copywriter, but the copywriter works with the machine to understand what is best, what is trend, what is not, and if their content, what is she's producing, is related of the tone of voice of the client. So it's nice, and we don't use the each one's chat gpt because of what I told you, because the chat gpt understand the inputs you do, and it changes. So we have one for the company, one for me, one for the director, one for the VAS. We use different kind of logins so we don't change the.
Intermingle all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because imagine if I do my research and we have the client's research, so we
People
use
used to
one.
do it, people used to pay the more expensive version and share between 3 or 5 people. I think this is the dumbest idea ever.
Yeah, we have one for each one for each account. So we have everything related for that client in just one place. And now we are integrating this with Notion and with tasks that we can produce automatic. So and the another front of what we are doing, and it was guided for us, it was to put some profiles that it's similar for of our clients, to see what is on the hype, what is working, what's the type of content, what's the time. How do you say gancho, Bas, in
The
English?
hooks,
The hooks, yeah, the hooks that we need to use.
the hooks, the headlines, the punch lines, the things that draw more
Hmm.
attention. We connect, like every content has a media that it goes through and have a category. And each of these medias, channels, and categories have his own KPIs that we tend to input back to look. I don't know what works or don't works. Just look this and this, more of this, because this is bringing me more attention.
Yeah, we were before of the. I think was a lot of things was subjective. We couldn't like say if the content is good or not. Of course, you have the numbers, the likes, but
It's still subjective.
it
It
is.
will always be
But now we can
subjective because
see.
when you are really reaching some point and discovering something, the rules of the game are
Yeah,
completely changed. So uh, I think most of the thing is bullshit. I have the definitive formula of making
yeah, we
content
do.
because we work with many clients and every client has a different formula. It's not you are going to buy the Mr. Beast course and put this on a law firm and this will become the greatest channel on YouTube. It will not. It's you need to understand what is information, what is noise. Today about content creation, 99% is it's noise. It's not signal.
Yeah, none of the things are answers, and we are trying to find this answer, looking what it's working or not. You don't know of we don't have all the data. Sometimes it's just a person, and if
Right.
this person does everything, it's going to work. And then this is one of the things that we are trying to understand. If there's is a formula or not, we try to replicate, we try to
The
do.
definitive answer is we work on this for more than 10 years and we know nothing. We just know how to test things fast and quickly and spending less than others. I think this is the formula of getting content
Yeah, marketing.
done,
Every person of
not
marketing
the
that
secret hack of
yeah,
anything.
if you talk with 10 different marketing professionals, probably you're going to have 10 different answers for the same problem.
Yep.
And the great problem is people are just people need to grab attention, so they are really faking wise. They have a success and they need to say that this no, this thing made my success. So this is my why. You should do this. But even the people that are saying it are right about this. They know there's not just this. And if they think that these dumb hacks are the reason that they are growing, they're just dumb. There's in Brazil this is very common. People there is luck. You made a video like everything is a mess, talking shit and everything, and it went to I don't know 100 million views. So now I'm gonna sell you a course and how you can make your success, but the people doesn't know how they do it. This is true. Most of the people doesn't know, even the successful ones.
Yeah, they just get some momentum behind them and get a couple viral videos, and next thing you know. As we're coming up on the hour, do you guys have any closing thoughts on where you think AI will be in 1 to 5 years and how it's going to affect the way you guys do business today?
Go for the vast.
Yeah.
I need to think.
I don't know. I'm more. I don't think afraid is the word, but I'm excited in my business, in my projects, but I'm afraid of this social thing, this monopoly thing that's in employers and workers thing. I don't think how this will turn out. We will need to have I don't know, the universal income, something like that. That is, I think it's approaching fast. I'm really not worried by the social thing of AI can cause. Not because of AI is good or bad, but how people will handle these things.
Yeah.
What is the limit of the capitalism? You know, more like this. Not against the capitalism. No, I'm really a good capitalist. I like money, I like to make money, but I'm really concerned about this lower class people.
Yeah, I mean, if there's all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
I think the same.
yeah, if there's all of a sudden like 10% or 15% unemployment or shoots up higher than that because of AI replacing all these jobs, it's like you gave us this great tool, but now it's caused this other issue in society. I mean, I don't know what you do with 20% of the population is out of a job. I mean, that's a scary thought. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go back to what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the same. I think this is a social issue that we cannot hide ourselves. We don't know the answers, but maybe the biggest companies are going to provide a solution in this way, because if they are earning more, they are making more money, it probably must to go in the way of the government are going to do some adjustments to see how this is going to flex on society. We work with cooperative governance and ESG. So the social part is really important to us and something that we don't know how they are going to manage it. And but of course, in terms of productivity and efficiency, I think it's amazing and I really like to use it. I just take care to not be like very lazy on do
Right.
things, because sometimes we put everything in the machine, and sometimes we use more time than if we just put and do it by
Yeah.
ourselves. I did some experience in this way, like, oh my God, the time that I'm spending looking, trying to find the perfect answers, sometimes if you just do it by yourself and just check, it's easier and faster than just to delegate everything for the AI. So I think our people are trying to understand the best way to conduct all of this that is happening, but I'm a positive person. So I always think that it's going to be for the best and we are going to be more efficiently. And with that, we can have less people, more thinking better about the business, not a lot of people that sometimes is just there that are not integrate. So I think this is going to be good for people who think and can use the technology in the best way to integrate the works and their jobs.
Yep. No, I think that's great. Those are all good points. And I'm excited to see where it goes. Technology's changed a lot over the last, 20, 25 years. I've been in the tech industry for quite a long time. So I've gotten to see the growth. And it's interesting where we're at now. And like you mentioned, people that embrace it and utilize it as a tool will be able to advance their careers and advance their businesses. And the people that kind of resist it or don't think it's important to get up to speed on. I mean, even on the IT side of things, the theme at the vendor that we use for all of our software, all our Microsoft 365 and EDR and all that kind of stuff, their theme this year for their convention was agentic AI. So they're talking about how to help clients integrate Copilot and things like that into their businesses. And obviously, that's more in the mid-tier business. It's going to be able to spend the money on something like Copilot because you're locked in for a year and you have to pay for it up front for a year and all those kinds of things. Sure, it has something to do with the compute power they have to set aside on the back end for X number of users and things like that. But it's going to be interesting to see where that goes and where we're going to be, on the convention next year. It was in, let's say like March or May of this year or something like that. So it hasn't even been that long. And already it seems like we're years advanced from where we were in May. So it's exciting, it's scary, it's interesting. We don't know where it's going to go, but I appreciate both of you guys coming on today and sharing your thoughts with me. And I look forward to future conversations down the road. And
Yeah.
hopefully, our audience enjoyed the conversation as well.
Yeah,
Take
we
care.
hope that's. Thank
Thank
you
you
for the
guys.
opportunity.
Absolutely.